and then anchor down into the earth. And close your eyes. Imagine that those sit bones that are connected to your blanket or your mat are rooting down, and they're growing down like roots, as if you were a tree. And the roots are going to go down, down, down into the earth. And imagine them going all the way to the center of the earth. And the center of the earth is like a ball of fire. And this is where the power is. This is where our power comes from, our stability, our trust, our safety. And imagine that these roots that are going down to the center of the earth begin to wrap around the center of the earth, anchoring your experience in this dimension into solid foundation, knowing that as you walk forward in your life, that you're completely protected and supported by Mother Earth. And from the center of the earth, through those roots, take a nice deep inhale all the way up through the earth, through the base of your spine, up your spine, out through the crown of your head, connecting to the heavens. And then as you exhale, exhale the same from the heavens all the way back down to the center of the earth. And allowing this nice long inhale, even though it takes place in your lungs, to be an energetic connection of your rooting into physical life and your connection to divine. Nice deep breath in. Exhaling it out. Nice deep breath in. Exhaling it out. So with this vision of the connections of the divine and your physical presence, find that space where the breath begins to breathe you. And the mind begins to move to the back part, the less observant part of the mind. And the attention locks in on this journey, the journey between the anchor and the crown. And as we sit following the breath, if the mind begins to jump in, thank it for being there, and bring your attention back to the breath, back to the journey between the anchor and the heavens, the foundation, the divine. Notice what's happening in the spine. Are you growing long? Engaging that pelvic floor, drawing that belly button back to the spine, lifting through the heart and growing long in the crown. Feel the power that comes from the earth. Feel the guidance that comes from the heavens. Open to both. On the next inhale, inhaling the hands up overhead, as if capturing that ball of energy in between the palms, dropping out of the shoulders, but yet growing long, feeling the muscles grow tight around the bones. Soften the face, smile, enjoy this journey we call life. On the next inhale, inhale tall, exhale, engage the core and twist into this, twisting to the right, taking a hold of that right knee with the left hand, encouraging the twist with that back hand, but doing so gently, knowing that this is the first twist of the day. Checking in, making sure that pelvic floor is engaged, that belly button's lifting up and back to the spine. You're raising through the heart and lengthening through the crown. Beginning to wring out anything that is no longer serving you. Imagine that what is no longer serving you is traveling down those roots into the center of the earth, completely surrendering to the support of the earth. Inhaling, lifting those arms up, coming back to center. Exhaling, headed the other direction, all the way as far as your body allows you to go in this opening twist. Looking over that shoulder, completing the twist. Feeling the lengthening, the growing long. The anchoring down. The opposite. As you go up, you anchor down. As you anchor down, you go long. Continuing with your breath. Settling in, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Inhaling those hands back up. Exhaling, swan dive straight forward. Wherever you meet resistance, hang out there without losing it in the spine. So rather than leading with the nose or the forehead, lead with the heart. Feel the hinging in the hips. Feel the opening across the base of your lower back. So this is glute medius right here. This is a very, very important muscle in our pelvic stabilization. Nicely done. Inhaling, coming up, inhaling those hands back up. Exhaling again, turning back to the right. This time, as you approach the edge of your twist, come clear up to the edge, back off of it just a teeny bit. And as you inhale, grow long, and then exhale, deepening into the twist. So the movement here is not coming out of the twist, but it's backing off the edge and then exhaling just beyond the edge to maybe consider the idea of challenging, where is your edge? Feel the heat beginning to build in this twist. Twist always begin to build heat. Like throwing a log on the fire. Drop out of anything you don't need. If you're holding in those glutes, let them go. What about the inside of the legs, the adductors? What would it feel like to soften those? Sinking one more time, finding that edge. Inhaling, hands back up, coming back to center. Belly button comes in. Exhaling the other direction. All the way to your edge. Again, find your edge. Drop out of your shoulders. Make sure and grow tall, right, versus leaning. So you're stacking those vertebrae one on top of the other. Growing long in the crown. Sometimes you have to play with the chin to see where the back of the neck lengthens. Maybe lift it up, tip it down, feel the length beginning to happen. Twisting into that edge, backing off it on the inhale, exhale, deepening it. So sometimes this is more of an energetic move than it is actually a physical move. Following the breath, inhaling, growing long, lifting through that belly button. There you go, good. Finding your edge, knowing where it is in your mind versus where it is in your body. Sometimes our edges come to us in the form of thought. There you go, good. Versus actual physical restriction. That's when getting out of our way is really important. On the next inhale, inhale tall, exhale, give the full expression here. Where is the edge? And then on the next inhale, release those hands up to the sky. Nice deep inhale, exhale, swan dive forward. Again,
Notice what's different. The pelvis will sometimes shift and align. Sometimes the spine will do it. Allow again the exhale to be where the release happens. Tipping the chin slightly, growing long in the back of the crown, as if you're trying to touch the opposite corner of the room. Not the corner, but where the ceiling connects the wall, that corner. Nice deep breath in, inhaling, coming up. Nicely done, coming off your blanket if you're on one. We're first going to bring that bottom leg under, everybody's favorite pose. We're going to open the hips and open the pelvis before we invite the pelvic floor to grow stronger. So remember that when you do this posture, that if this is where it is in your body, let that be okay. Let the work be about softening the knee down, okay? If you can stack your knees one over the other, I'm getting closer. I used to be able to do this so much easier. So I don't know if you can see in my body how I kind of roll into my right hip, my bottom leg. My work is sinking in to the other hip and balancing it out. Rather than dropping the knees down, it's about anchoring the hips down into the earth. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. Now, grow up nice and tall. We've got a yes, but everybody can feel it. And can you feel the heat begin to build? So this is root chakra. Root chakra energy is very warm and it's very anchoring. So find your breath, close your eyes, smile. Because when we smile, it softens the hips. So if we walk through life with our teeth clenched together, bad, then our hips clench also. So loosen the jaw, smile softly. Send the teacher love and light. Oh, thank you. And breathe into it. So from right here, take a nice deep inhale. I won't make you move your hands up, but cross that top hand over and twist into it. So this is an interesting experience for the glute med. This is, again, across the top of the back, but it also then goes down into the IT band. Everybody's familiar with the IT band. It runs the outside edge of your leg. Softening, smiling, loosening that jaw, feeling the hips begin to, even if it's a micromillimeter, soften down into the earth. Feel those roots go down to the center of the earth, bringing that energy into the tissue, allowing it to soften. Take a nice deep breath in, coming back out of it. Now we're going to unwind the legs, straighten them out, shake them out. Do it so gently. And be mindful of your knees. If your knees are injured in any way, only go to your level. Shake the legs out. See if you can just allow them to really soften. Jiggle it. I know we don't like to jiggle this part of our body, but it's good to allow that tissue to move. Now, let's see, other leg. Yeah, that's right. So for me, it's the left leg. I have to think about it or I end up doing both the same leg both times. Remember, you don't have to go super deep.
I just have to try at least.
Give it a go. Be mindful of those knees. Stack those knees the best you can. The first thing we're going to do is grow long in the crown and anchor down through both hips. So see if you can drop that hip of the top leg. And that even though our knees are stacked, that we can still soften into it. Sometimes it's a visualization. Sometimes it's about softening the shoulders. And often it's about softening the jaw. Notice what's happening in your jaw. Isn't that an interesting phenomenon? What is above, so is below. So grow nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. What are you holding on to in the lower body that can be let go of? Everything except the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is always the first thing we let go of. Isn't that an interesting thing? Our center, our balance. Draw that belly button back, lift it up on the exhale. Help the air leave the lungs.
Smile. Smile. Smile even if you're smiling on the inside, let it come out. Breathing into it. Taking that top hand, anchoring it on that knee and twist around. Twist into it gently. This will seem like child's play by the time we're finished. Breathe into it. Oh, yes. So I find in my body, I begin to grab on in places that I don't even realize I do it. And creating change comes with awareness. So do a little inventory. What's happening in those muscles of your legs? Are they clenching like, I'm hanging on? What would it feel like to soften that? And then bring up through the pelvic floor, bring up through that belly button. Twist a little deeper. Nicely done. Inhaling, coming back to center. Releasing those legs. Shake them out. Again, shake them out. Give yourself a little massage if you want. Sometimes that feels really good. And then bring those feet in together. Soles together, opening up, coming up on your sit bones. Sometimes I have to find the sit bones again. Grow nice and tall, drop out of the shoulders. Lengthen through the back of the head and exhale just slightly forward. Feel the hinge at the hips. So if you find the collapse happening like this in your back, where you begin to roll it, stack those vertebrae up, stack them up. There you go. Yes. So feel the fire. Feel that root chakra energy. Inhaling, releasing that out. Again, release those legs out, shake them out. And then we're going to move right into tabletop. Give ourselves some circles through those hips. Good work. This is just a little counter pose to all that stretchy work. Just whatever it feels like in your body. Make some circles. What feels yummy and delicious. And then find yourself building into your tabletop. Your knees are under your hips. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Fingers spread wide, elbows facing each other. Engaging the crown, engaging the tail right here. Draw it in. This is our first core movement right here. So as the belly button comes up and the pelvic floor comes up, have a sensation of drawing down through the back muscles. This is a really small movement, but it's very powerful. It's that sensation of bearing down in order to lift up. So the pelvic floor is lifting up, the back muscles are lifting down. Does that make sense? And what happens when you do that, it's kind of almost like meeting in the center. Yes, everybody has great tabletops. Feel that drop come out of the belly. There you go, you got it. Right there. Breathing into it. Find your breath. Anchor in with the breath. Let the mind begin there. The mind is minding your breath, minding this powerful tabletop. So from tabletop, we're going to transition this into low plank. So from right here, we're going to bring our elbows down, okay? Bring our knees back so that we can slide forward and come into low plank here. So the important thing in low plank is that you've got everything engaged. Belly button up, pelvic floor up, low back muscles drawing down, so your shoulders are away from your ears. And you're gonna flatten your fanny down. Bring it down. Feel almost like you're tipping that pelvis forward. Breathe into it. Find your breath. We're going to be doing some holding today. Feel the heat begin to build. Know that when we strengthen from the center of the body, it makes us stronger overall. 2 more breaths.
So this is where I'm going to invite you to work from if this is the first time you've done these, all right? On the next inhale, press back into child's pose, all the way back, fold over your knees so that you get a deep flow through the spine. Rather than opening the knees and flattening the back, roll over the spine. Nicely done. Inhaling back up into tabletop, find your tabletop. Engage that pelvic floor. Draw that belly button up, shoulders are down. So as you draw your shoulders down, you can feel this downward motion on the back. And then you can feel it go all the way down to the pelvis. And so it's almost as if you're inviting the pelvic girdle to tip forward, as if you're going to touch your belly button with your pubic bone. That will never happen. It's more of a directional thing. The direction that it's going. There you go. Bring that belly button up, draw it up. There you go. So vacation happens when we let that belly button fall to the floor. Really get a sense of that belly button first going back to the spine and then lifting up to your heart. Can you feel that? That's a deep movement, deep in the belly. So belly button back to the spine, lifting up to the heart. Deep breath in. Let the exhale be where that belly button uses that movement. On the next inhale, we're going to curl our toes under and we're going to exhale up into downward facing dog, heels off the floor. Now I'm a little off the mat, so if you are, you might have to walk on. Okay. So drop your heart back to your knees. The knees are soft and we haven't really opened the hamstrings yet. So let them be soft, no forcing here. The work here is softening the knees and then tipping that tailbone back. So as we pull the pubic bone forward, now we're going to tip it back and let the heart travel to the knees. Okay, so here we go. Nice deep inhale, lifting up into the toes, exhale down into the right heel. Inhale up, exhale into the left knee, walking the dog. Walk it out. Left and right. Feel that heart. So I'm going to have you spread your fingers wide. That's what it is. And then I'm going to have you walk your feet into about here. There you go. Now lift up here, let go of that head, and then work that heart towards your knees. Wow, look at that. Can you feel that? Good job. So imagine, for those of you at home, that I'm coming by and I'm putting my hand right between your shoulder blades and just giving a little bit of an invitation to sink towards your knees. There you go, you got it. We're going to do 3 more walking the dogs and then we're going to take a break. So if you're breaking, if you can join us for the last 3, that would be awesome. 2 more, still breathing. Feeling those hamstrings open. Nicely done. We're going to do 1 with both heels down for 2 breaths. Sink into both heels. Feel my hand between your shoulder blades, inviting that heart to your knees. Let go of your head. Lowering those knees down, sinking back, curling over. Okay? A lot of times when we do child's pose, we open the knees. This time we're curling over. It stretches the back muscles just a little bit differently. If you'd like to stack your hands and put them under your forehead to create a little platform for them, see if you can let go of anything and sink a little deeper in the knees. If you have any knee injuries, no sinking deeply. You can actually be up if you need to. It's okay. On the next inhale, rising back up, returning to tabletop. Okay, here we are, tabletop. Spread those fingers wide. This is where we create our foundation for downward facing dog. Engage that pelvic floor, deep breath in. Exhale, draw that belly button back to the spine and then up to the heart. And as you do that, feel everything on the back side draw down so that you have a nice flat back. Feel the strength from the center of the body. On the next inhale, curl the toes under and exhale back up into downward facing dog. This time, full dog. So if your heels touch the floor, that's awesome. And if you're a little splayed out, you need to walk your feet in a little, that's okay, you can do that. I always have to do that. Nicely done. On the next inhale, we're gonna lift the right leg up about halfway, point the toe, and then we're gonna exhale and draw the knee into our nose. So this is a little tricky because you don't wanna lose the collapse into the heart. So this is all leg muscle. Engage that pelvic floor. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. We're almost there. Inhale out. Exhale in. Last one. Inhale out. Exhale in. Back into downward facing dog. Go to child's pose. Take a break if you need it. Roll over those heels, or knees. If you can roll over your heels, that'd be really nice. Sinking back. Sometimes when you've done downward facing dog like that, you need to walk your arms behind you. Okay? Let that forehead drop to the earth. If you need more of a shoulder opener, bring those hands behind your back and clasp them and lift them up. But it's your call. What do you need in your body? On the next inhale, rising back up into tabletop. Reestablish this nice strong core. Pubic bone tipping to the belly button, lifting that belly button to the spine. Lengthening long through the crown, drawing down through the shoulders. Take that arch out of your belly. If that belly button's dropping to the floor, draw it up. Inhale, turn the toes under. Exhale, lift up into downward facing dog. Please know that if dog is not with you today, you can do this from tabletop. Drop into that right foot, lift that left foot halfway up, point the toe. Exhale, the knee to the nose. Inhale it back. Exhale it in, pelvic floor is strong, belly buttons to the spine and lifting to the heart. Feel the breath moving in and out, inhaling in, exhaling out, inhaling in, exhaling out. Good job, keep going, inhaling in, exhaling out, inhaling in, exhaling out. Check that core. Is it still there? We're almost there. Last one. Nicely done. Heels are down to the floor. Full expression of dog. This time, open the knees. Lower yourself back into child's pose. Walk those hands out in front of you, all the way out. Give yourself a few cleansing breaths. On the next inhale, rising up, coming back into tabletop. Reestablish that strong core movement. Elbows together, eyes of the elbows facing each other. Fingers are spread wide, spread them out. Make them wider than you think they can go. Lots of muscles in the hands. Curl the knees under, exhale, up into downward facing dog. This time we're just gonna go straight into dog. Breathing into it. Feel those heels sink to the earth. On the next inhale, we're going to move straight forward into plank. Straight forward into plank. Modify it if you need to. So when we started, if you want to go down low, you can lower your knees. If you want to go onto your elbows because your shoulders are sore, you can do that. Make sure and get your bottom down though. There you go. Might have to walk yourself forward a little bit. Pelvic floor up. Belly button up and towards the heart. Lengthening through the crown, find your breath. And exhaling back into downward facing dog or child. Wherever you need to go, go there. Counterpose this. Taking a break. Feeling into it, feeling that core. Yes. On the next inhale, coming back into tabletop. Reestablish that pelvic floor, that belly button up and up. Take that drop out the spine. This is the last one. We're going to go to standing. So turn those heels under. Exhale up into downward facing dog. Walk those hands back. Coming into standing forward fold. Here it is. Woo. Let go of those shoulders. Shake them out a little bit. Clasp the arms at the elbows. Rock those shoulders side to side. Shake your head out. Shake your fanny out. And then let those hands fall down and begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up, inhaling those hands up overhead, coming into tall mountain. Dropping out of those shoulders. So just like when we're in downward facing dog, we're going to lift through the pelvic floor, draw that belly button back and up. And so you're going to feel this nice long line of energy down our back. There you go. Got it. There you go. Going tall right here. Hands don't have to be together. They can be shoulder width apart. Sometimes that's easier to do, especially those of us who use our arms for a living. Sometimes we have a hard time bringing our hands together because we're very strong through the upper trap. Nice deep breath in. We're going to turn those hands away and exhale them down as slow as possible. Remembering to keep that pelvic floor engaged, even though the arms are coming down. Coming into mountain pose, turning those hands forward, softening the toes, but anchoring the feet into the earth. So now those roots that were coming from our sit bones run down the back of our legs, through the soles of our feet, down into the earth. And our crown connects to the heavens. So that we are this channel of energy between heaven and earth. Here we are, breathing into it. On the next inhale, soften your gaze back into the room, and then turn onto your mat, coming in the long way, opening those feet wide, turning those feet out to the corner of the mat. So I think, have you done breath of fire? Yeah, okay. I'll teach breath of fire from the beginning. We're gonna sink down, so anchor down, as if the anchors are going straight down from our bottom, from our sit bones, right here. This is the one place in life that I'll let the shoulders come up to the ears if they need to. They don't have to, if you can keep them down. We're gonna just tip forward, and we're gonna start pumping our belly, okay? So belly button in and out, and then you can pant like a dog. It's all coming from right here in the belly button. So it's like the belly button is coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then for those of you who are experienced with breath of fire, close your mouth and do it through your nose. So that's right. You've got it. Pump in the belly. You can start slowly. If you lose your rhythm, open the mouth and pant like a dog. There's something about panting like a dog. Sink a little lower. Pump that belly. Keep going. Pick it up. Almost there. Blow it all the way out. Inhale. Roll everything forward, coming up, bringing it up, all the way up to 5-pointed star. Exhaling it down. Does anybody need a Kleenex? Sometimes when you do that through your nose, you need a Kleenex.
No, that just gives me a head rush.
It gives you a head rush. Okay, so find something to look at. Blow through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle. So the head rush is about bringing air into the lungs in a different way. So it's changing the pressure. Just because I say you have to go faster doesn't mean you have to. If your rhythm is that's fine. The most important is that it's coming from the belly and you're pulling in with that belly button, okay? Exhaling the hands down, sinking back in. We're gonna do another round. Here we go. Pant like, I stop because I can't talk and do it at the same time. So you guys keep going. Here we go. Breath of fire, whatever that looks like in your world. Blow it all the way out. Inhale, coming up slowly. If you're lightheaded, blow out the mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Hands come up. Exhaling the arms down. Breathing into it. You guys want to do one more round? Feeling it? Are you feeling it?
Pass out.
We'll have no passing out today.
But why don't you hyperventilate?
Because it's the exchange of, you're not taking in a full deep breath of air. It's more about pumping the belly. And so the breath of fire, it builds heat because this is kind of where our, where our fire is, and then we're throwing logs on the fire. So we're building heat in the body. So if you're ever cold, breath of fire. It'll warm you right up. And drop down. And here we go. We're gonna go with the last one. Not so deep a breath, shorter breath. Pump that belly, pump the belly. Blow it all the way out. Inhaling, coming up. So one of the things that's happening is that you get so lightheaded is your breaths are too long. Let it be more about pumping the belly, okay? How's that for an answer? Okay. So turning that right foot. How's everybody? Has everybody regained their equilibrium? Hands out, we're headed into triangle. So take a quick look, make sure that your heel is going to the arch of the foot. If not, adjust accordingly. Hinge at the hips, reach far. And we're not going to the floor, we're just going to tip. Tip here, find your breath. Open that top arm, spin it open. Engage that belly button, that pelvic floor. I'm moving, you guys are not. So this is as if you're between two panes of glass here. So sometimes what happens, yeah, there you go, feel it? And then tip this head kind of like this and go along here. So that way you get a sense of this being in line. Can you feel that? Okay, perfect. Here I am. Spin that needle in the toe right here. That energetic move. You don't have to go so deep in your foot. There you go, good. Just because you can touch the floor doesn't mean that you ought to touch the floor. Sometimes it's about backing out to go forward. There you go. Keep breathing. Find your breath. Nicely done. You okay? We're just doing a little movement in the hips here. That'll feel better today. 3 more breaths. And lifting straight up. Hands down. Woo. Turn those feet forward, spinning it around the other way. Inhaling, hands up. So take a quick look at yourself and see if they were to put a sheet of glass in front of you and a sheet of glass behind you. Are you in between that glass? Because sometimes what happens is we get this going on. So come back, grow tall, and then hinge at the hips, the movements in the hips, not the upper body. And then drop the arms. There you go. Drop through that pelvic floor. Beautiful. Lengthening through that crown. Sometimes it's finding where your head is on the top of your the top of your spine. What can you let go of and still be supported? The core is not it. I'll give you that clue. Keep that pelvic floor engaged. Keep that belly button working to the spine. Protecting the body. Yes, breathing. Let go of your breath. We're almost there. Inhaling, lifting up, coming out, letting it down. Turning those feet in. You guys can jump or walk them in. Coming back into mountain pose. Finding your mountain pose. We're going to do one quick balance here. So as we pour into the right foot, we're going to lift our knees straight up and the hands are going to come parallel. Okay? So this is our pelvic floor work that we've been doing. Balance out those hips. Pubic bone to the belly button. I'm going to move before you guys get going too far so you don't fall down. Because I want to look from behind. Feel those hips square off. Feel that lengthening here. Stack that spine, go long in the crown. Okay, I'm letting go. That's it right there. Good job. And remember that if your balance is with your toe on the ground, that's okay. No worries. Breathing into it, find your breath. And exhale, slowly lower down both sides. Wiggle those hips out, give yourself a little space. Give that supporting leg a little bit of love, whichever side it was on, the right side. And then we're going to do that again. Pouring into the left foot. Engaging that core, drawing up. Square off those hips. Really lift up through that belly button, drop back. Feel that spine stack one on top of the other. Grow along. There you go. Good job. Nicely done. Almost there. Exhaling, stepping down. Was that about even? Okay.
Closer.
I've been practicing on getting my sides even rather than one side getting cheated. Circle it around. Good balance. Good core work today, you guys. Tomorrow, send me lots of love. Lots of love and light. All right, stepping to the front of the mat. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhaling, swan dive down. Headed back into downward facing dog. All the way back. Full expression of dog. Let's have 3 breaths. Inhale, move forward into plank. We're gonna have 3 breaths in plank. Modify it if you need to. Remember all those things that we learned. And then lower straight down. Here we are, hands still underneath our shoulders. We're gonna link them through our legs, heading into some back bends here. So grow long in the left leg and long in the right leg. Now, as if we're in tabletop, draw up through the pelvic floor. Feel that belly button go up to your back and up to your heart, and then draw down through the back muscles. And in doing so, you're gonna feel that pubic bone connect with the earth. Grow long in the crown, inhale, and rise up into cobra. Now, remember, cobra is about letting your hands go the first time. Okay, just inviting this back bend in. Now, make sure that your feet do not disconnect from the earth. And also, as if you're holding a ball of energy between your feet. So you don't want them splayed out. You want them hip distance apart. Breathing into it. There you go. Nicely done. Oh, looks really great. So, 2 more breaths. And exhale, lowering down. If you want to let your head go all the way down, you can turn your head to one side. You don't have to. You can just give yourself a little break. Re-engage all of that pelvic floor. Flatten out that back. Inhale, coming back up. This time, invite your hands into it. And you can deepen as much as you want. You don't have to go as deep as I do. You can go deeper. It's up to you. Find your breath. If that pelvic floor is not engaged, this will hurt in the lower back. So make sure that that belly button is working up and back. Shoulders are drawing down. Exhaling, lowering down, all the way down. This time, stack your hands, turn your head to one side, rest them on your hands, release those feet, rock them side to side. Releasing that low back. Not to mention, it's just a little loving twisting going on in the pelvis. So it's more about loosening the muscles. See if you can let go of one more layer of holding. What is something that you've been holding on to that it's time to maybe surrender to? Give it to Mother Earth. Knowing that everything's going to be okay. And if it's not okay yet, it's not finished. So there's that. All right. Last cobra. Lengthen through that right leg. Lengthen through the left leg. Engage that pelvic floor. Engage that belly button up and back. Draw down through the shoulders, down through the back, and inhale, lifting up. Where's your cobra today? Really work that pubic bone down towards the floor. Drop out of your shoulders, lengthen through that crown. Feel those spines, the vertebrae stack one on top of the other. Three more breaths, and then we're going to go to child. Last one. And release all the way back into child. Hold over your knees, open them up. It's okay, whichever feels better to you today, do that. So check in with yourself. Is that low back talking to you? If the low back is talking to you, then it's important that you know that your core strength needs to be drawn in a little bit more. Rolling over those knees. Breathing into it. On the next inhale, find your way to lying on your back with your feet in standing. So if you'd like a vinyasa to get there, you can do that. It's okay. Always an offering. Lowering down on that back. We're gonna walk our feet in. We're not gonna do bridge, but we are gonna do some pelvic tilts just to check in with the low back. So feet are hip distance apart, hands are on the floor. We're gonna inhale and then exhale that belly button down and lifting up, drawing in through the pelvic floor. And then inhale, release it all. Exhale, do it again. This is one of the best postures to do to get a deep sense of where's my core at. So the cool thing about the core muscles is that they are deep muscles and they support our physical being from the middle, our center of gravity. Exhaling, drawing in. Inhaling, releasing out. Exhaling, drawing in. Inhaling, releasing out. Keep going. Exhaling, drawing in. Inhaling, releasing out. This is a nice cooling exercise. This is a great exercise to do at night when you get into bed. If you do 20 of these before you go to sleep, before you release and go to sleep, then you will begin to strengthen your core at night. And then in the morning when you wake, if you do 20 before you get out of bed, it's a great way to support the body. Following your breath, feeling the body begin to cool. And it is a journey. There we go, halfway there. You know where to go. Just following the breath. Five more. Full inhale, inhale all the way. Exhale all the way. Last two. Last one. Release your knees to the chest. Gently rock side to side. Ask your body, oh great wise body, vehicle of this life, what else do I need? I'm not going to do any more twisting. We did a lot of twisting in the beginning, but if you need a twist, now is the time. Consider the idea of finding a blanket as you prepare for Shavasana. And cover up to hold the heat. And if you don't need that, if you have plenty of heat built and you feel good, just going right on into Shavasana when you are ready and not a second before. Begin to find your way into Shavasana. Lengthening through the right leg, lengthening through the left leg. Feel those feet begin to fall open. The core actually softens. The breath grows shallow. The hands fall to open to receive it. The eyes grow heavy and the mind slips away. Not here, not there. Today, my life is filled with trust. I connect to the earth. The earth provides foundation, stability, safety. I am abundant, loving, kind. My needs are met. I am protected. I am grateful And it is so. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And as you're ready, roll to your right side. Letting this journey bring you back into your body when you're ready. And as you return to easy pose and bring your hands to your heart, we'll take a nice deep inhale. Exhaling it out. We'll inhale to 1 Om today. Nice deep inhale in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Namaste.